Welcome to the Rosalynn Carter Health and Human Sciences Complex. I'm Dr. Teresa Teasley, Interim Dean of the College of Nursing and Health Sciences. Today, we gather not only to celebrate the naming of our state-of-the-art simulation and learning center, but also to honor the strong partnership and unwavering support from the Phoebe Putney Health System, without whom this simulation center would not be possible. Thanks to their generosity and support, our nursing students have the opportunity to learn and acquire valuable skills in simulated patient environments. For example, this space allows students to experience patient-centered care in a controlled and safe environment, develop confidence and competence in their nursing skills through instructor-led labs, practice and hone in on necessary soft skills such as interacting with uncooperative patients and mastering the art of conflict resolution while learning how to work in a team to provide high-quality patient care. We are fortunate to have the support of the Phoebe Health System, which allows us to connect classroom learning with practical clinical application. On behalf of the GSW nursing community, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to Mr. Scott Steiner, Mr. Carlisle Walton, and other members of the Phoebe team for their support of the School of Nursing. Your generosity has not only made it possible for us to provide better education, but also helped us prepare our students to become exceptional nurses. Downstairs, you may have noticed the posters that read, "Oh, the places you will go." These posters reveal fantastic news for our healthcare community. 9 of our pending May BSN graduates have already committed to working for the Phoebe Health System, a testament to the success of our partnership and our students' commitment to serving in our area. In other good news, our first cohort of 35 students in the ASN program, a program that is already rapidly growing and poised to make significant contributions to the healthcare community, will graduate on August the 2nd. This will further increase the number of registered nurses who are trained to provide excellent care to the patients in the Phoebe Health System. Now please help me welcome to the podium Phoebe Health System President and CEO, Mr. Scott Steiner.
Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you, Dr. Teasley, Dr. Weaver. Thanks for the warm welcome today. I've been here in Southwest Georgia for 5 years, and the relationship with Phoebe and GSW goes well before that. Dr. Daniel, who's here, who's been on, how long have you been on the board here for Phoebe's board?
I don't know,
A few.
7, 8 years.
All right, a number of years. Is such an incredible board member for Phoebe, and has always been that integral link for Georgia Southwestern and for Phoebe. More than just a board member, she's always been a partner and a champion for nursing. My mom was a nurse, and she was a bit of a later in life nurse. She didn't get her BSN until she was in her 40s, but she sure loved being a nurse. And we heard about it every night at the dinner table. I didn't know it at the time, but she was giving me a lot of life lessons. As she was in the ICU, she loved being in the ICU, and she would talk about how young men did dumb things, and ended up in the ICU, and we broke a lot of HIPAA laws back then. But what I remember is her love for patients. And I asked her later, I said, "How did you love somebody you didn't really know?" Because a lot of times, right, ICU patients were unconscious, and she said, she just she said it was what a privilege it was for her to care for somebody at the most vulnerable time of their life, and not only that patient but their family that she tried to connect with, because they were all scared usually they never thought they would be that scared because their loved one was in that state. So it's my mom that really instilled that love of nursing. I said, she always thought I'd be a great orthopedic surgeon. And I say, Mom, I can't get through nursing school, much less medical school. But she's the one that instilled that in me, and that love for a healthcare worker, and undoubtedly why I got into healthcare, just in a little bit of a different way, or a lot of different way. So thank you, Dr. Weaver. Thank you for this partnership. When Dr. Weaver and the team, Dr. Daniel, had come and said, hey, we know you need more nurses and this is how we can help, we said, yes, let's do that. And because we have to be involved differently than we've ever been involved in healthcare. It used to just be, hey, universities and schools give us the staff, give us the workforce we need, and the United States is 2 to 3 million nurses short today. Henderson, that's great news for you and your fellow colleagues, because you're always going to have a job, right? And any kind of job you want, if you want to switch it up next week, you have that ability to do that. But that also should be a worry for everyone, because we're all going to need health care. Hopefully that's not for a long time, but you never know. It could be this afternoon, it could be tomorrow, it could be our loved one, and we need that nurse at the bedside. We need that nurse watching and being a protector of us in our care, of champion patient safety, which is where we start as an organization, is keeping our patients safe and that oath to them. So we thank you for that partnership. We look forward to doing more of that, whether it's through the clinical space, the ASN program. We know you've got more, and we need it at Phoebe, but Georgia needs it, and the United States needs it, and the world needs it. We need people who lead with their hearts, who can put the patient's vulnerability first and foremost, and that's why they do what they do. So thank you for our nurses in the room. Thank you for what you do. For our future nurses, thank you for getting into this field. We worried with COVID that is anybody ever going to want to get into healthcare again, and how inspiring it is to see young people today not only getting into it, but being passionate about it, and having actually some of what happened during COVID inspire them to do that. So appreciate the time today. Carlisle is going to speak, but we have got great partners here with Carlisle and Marcus here in Albany. Tracy Suter's with us today, who does a lot of this work. Brian Church is our CFO, who does. I just have to come up and do things like this. They're the ones that make all this happen. They do all that hard work, and I thank them for doing that, because this will make a difference. This will allow us to keep those precious dollars that we have in our communities. I'd much rather invest them in our academic partners than in a staffing company that is located in Tennessee, that has no interest in Southwest Georgia other than making a profit. So this is a great, again, a partnership that keeps those dollars here, keeps them in the pockets of our caregivers who work long hours, but they do it because they love what they do. So thank you for allowing us to be here. Thank you for this great honor, and I'm here to introduce our next speaker. Hang on. It's Henderson. We introduced Henderson Hurdle. Henderson and I had a chance to chat a little bit about what she's going to do, and I'll let her speak to that, but it was great to see her spirit along with her colleagues here today. So.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Henderson Hurdle. I'm a junior nursing student here at Georgia Southwestern. I also play softball, and I'm a member of the Jimmy Carter Leadership Program. I've had the opportunity to spend dozens of hours in our simulation center here on campus. My first semester this past fall, we spent nearly 6 hours every week developing competencies in our fundamentals of nursing class with Miss Stanley. The practice time with the mannequins allowed me to build confidence in my skills before I even arrived on the hospital floor. It eliminated many fears I had of how to interact, talk, and care for patients. Our professors challenge us daily to imagine the mannequins as a real patient with real emotions. In a world of technology, simulation labs are a key component in the education of nurses in the 21st century. Being able to learn and make mistakes allows students to become skilled in their abilities to eventually reach perfection. Now that I'm finishing my second semester, I've been able to use my communication skills that I have obtained in simulation to care for patients in our community. Furthermore, I confidently insert IVs, NG tubes, and even catheters more efficiently because of the time I have spent in the simulation center. It is truly a blessing to be at a school with the resources like these to be able to become the most competent nurse possible. As I finished my Med-Surg 1 paper last night late for Ms. Pfeiffer, I kind of realized that suddenly I'm about to be a senior and I have 2 more semesters, and I'm very thankful I'm going to be able to start my nurse externship at Phoebe this summer. And it's just really made me realize that it really is a blessing to be at this school, and I'm very thankful for everything that Phoebe's done, Dr. Teasley, Dr. Daniel. I'm just very thankful to be at this school, and yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity. Mr. Carlisle, come on. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Henderson, thank you for introducing me. I decided to write my comments in my GSW binder that Stephen presented me with about 2 months after Astrid and I arrived here. But it is truly my honor this morning to join my boss, Scott Steiner, and many of my colleagues who are here in expressing my appreciation on behalf of the Phoebe family and also the Phoebe Sumter Medical Center family specifically for this meaningful honor that the GSW administration has decided to bestow on us. Stephen ensured that he pointed out to me that there was great foresight. If you look at the colors of the chairs you're sitting on, they're the Phoebe colors. I just wanted you to notice that. But the reality is that GSW and Phoebe Sumter Medical Center have been serving this community for over 100 years. And this honor is both an endorsement and a ratification of our growing and mutually beneficial partnership. You know, as I walk the halls of our hospital, and those who have been at Phoebe Sumter for a while, they know that the most important degree that I possess is my MBWA. I manage by walking around. And as I walk the halls, I'm blessed to interact with senior leaders, with clinical managers, charge nurses, externs, all GSW graduates, or in the case of the 9 externs who've been with us these past few months, 3 of them joining us at Phoebe Sumter. For some reason, 6 of them wanted to go to Albany, and that's okay. You know, there are nice things there like NICUs and other things that they enjoy. But the reality is that I see all of them sharing their Cane's pride, and they daily contribute to our North Star as a system, and that is to make every life that we touch better. Our Cane's family members, they shine, in my opinion, with undimmed brilliance. And the now retired dean of this School of Nursing that Scott alluded to, Dr. Sandra Daniel, has become one of my great sounding boards and just a very good friend, herself and her husband, Arthur, and I'm one of the few people who call him Arthur. Everyone knows him as Skeeter. But, you know, Dr. Daniel, she's the vice chair of our board. She chairs our professional affairs committee, our credentials committee. So she is just, she wears the mantle of wisdom. And I am so thankful to have her as a part of our team. GSW is indeed a bright thread that's woven through the tapestry of Phoebe. My wife Astrid and I are committed to doing our small part in lifting our community up. And we are in turbulent times. I think we will all acknowledge that. But in these times of unprecedented change, I see unprecedented opportunities. to ensure that our community will always be a community of growth, a community of learning, and a community that just bursts with positivity. Eric Hoffer, the social scientist and moral philosopher, and one of my favorite authors, penned the following words over 50 years ago. I quote, "In times of change, learners inherit the earth, while the learned find themselves beautifully equipped for a world that no longer exists," end quote. It is my honor today to be a part of this community of learners who will embrace the opportunities afforded us to create meaningful change wherever we are called to serve. I am confident that this Simulation and Learning Center, this School of Nursing, will continue to be a catalyst for such change and the development of a community of learners. I asked Stephen how much time I have because I like to speak. And he said, "Carlisle, keep it to 5 minutes." So I will conclude my remarks this morning with a quote from a scholar, a learner, and someone in the almost 2 years that we have been here who's become one of my favorite individuals. I read it just a few days ago as I was engaging in my daily review of LinkedIn. In response to a number of outstanding presentations made by GSW students, this learner wrote the following words on LinkedIn, and I quote, "This is what great universities do. They develop people, they challenge them to be more than they can see, and teach them to never give up on their goals," end quote. Thank you, Neil, for writing those words. I found those as such affirming and positive and encouraging words. The Phoebe family is truly honored to not just have our name on this campus, but to be a committed partner with this great university. Thank you. I guess I'm supposed to introduce Dr. Neil Weaver, but I just did.
Thank you, Carlisle. First, let me introduce somebody that's here with us today. Teresa McCartney. There she is. She's sitting right there. Teresa is going to in about 10 days. She'll be the president here, and I'd like to make sure she is acknowledged. But I'm gonna talk briefly about the system. So she is one of our system leaders, and so just be careful. This is campus-based conversation. So. Tracy, we met in Albany. Brian, you were there, and we sat and we talked about we need more nurses. What can we do? And we came up with a plan. And I think somebody asked, okay, can this happen? And I think we looked at each other and said, well, there's probably a 40% chance that we can get this done. We don't think the system will let us have this program. We don't think that they'll let us go into direct competition with Albany State. I mean, there were all kinds of reasons why. And you guys invested anyway. And that's, this, lots of times we name buildings or facilities for one gift. Somebody makes a gift and they get their name on a building, whatever it is. You all have invested in us over and over and over again. And even when we told you, yeah, chances are probably not good, you did it anyway. And you did it again and again and again. And so this reflects your long-term belief in what we do here. And we appreciate that very much. Now, some of you know that I'm ending my time here at the university, but most of you don't know why. When I got here, I was told that the dean of our nursing program had agreed to stay for 3 years. And she had already finished one of those 3. And so I needed to start a plan. And Dr. Daniels finished the next 2 years and she stayed. And then she finished that year and she stayed again. And she stayed again. And then finally this year she said, you know, Neil, it's time for me to retire. And I said, well, I got to get out of here. So it's Dr. Daniels' fault. But she created an incredible organization that when we say there's a 30% chance or a 40% chance, the reality is you cannot go wrong by investing in this School of Nursing. They are incredible. You've heard Henderson. She is an unbelievable example of our students, but she is not the exception among our students. They are all incredible. And everywhere we go, and I know you guys say it, the other hospitals that we work with, the other hospital systems that we work with, they say the same thing. GSW nurses are different. I say they're better. We don't always get that word, but they say they're exceptional, that they're well prepared, that they are ready to go to work day one. And that's because of this incredible group of faculty and staff that don't let any limitation stop them from being excellent. And so we thank you for that. And that's why when somebody says, can we do it? We know you can. And they continue to invest in you. And so we really appreciate what you have done to make this program among the very, very best, not just in Georgia, but among the very best across the Southeast United States and probably in the entire country. You guys are fantastic. And your commitment to these students is unbelievable. And we all know it, we all feel it. And so thank you for that. I guess the part that I want all of us to know, or at least for all of us to think about, is that when we have people in our community that believe in what we do, it can encourage us to achieve more than we ever think possible. And so when you see these names on these buildings and spaces, just remember that these are people that believe in you. And sometimes we don't always think we've got what it takes so that we can do, but you can do more than you think you can. And there's so many people that are willing to help and invest in you. Take that as encouragement. Take that as belief and opportunity, because this is a special place and we have special people and special students, and we can make a real difference. And so thank you for your commitment. Scott, we appreciate it very much. You guys have been unbelievable on a regular basis for us. And the fact that we're graduating students in a program that we thought had a 30% chance of getting approved. We're graduating the first group on August 1st. And not only that, we started with what we thought would be 40-some students. We're graduating 35. That's a pretty dang good retention rate. And this summer, we're increasing the number to 65 because other people have invested, followed your lead, and invested. That program is making a difference. And because you did that, and I guess I should, I know I've talked too long, I'm sorry. we went to you and we said, we can't afford to do this. We need seed money. I think that was the term we used. We need seed money. And we hired some faculty and we started this program. And in this budget cycle, we are moving all those faculty off of your money and onto the institutional's payroll because we've generated the tuition and the state funding necessary to make it happen. Without your seed money, without your belief, without your investment, we never could have started the program. We couldn't have afforded to do it, but now we can. And everything we thought could happen has happened. But it doesn't happen without that initial belief and investment. So we thank you for that. You've made this institution better, not just in the nursing program, but across the entire campus. So thank you all very much. And so proud of this program and all that you all have done. And Michelle, just a great job getting the ASN program up and running and graduating first class. Michelle Radcliffe. All right, Steve, are we cutting a ribbon or are we taking pictures? Taking pictures. All right, thank you all for coming, and thank you again, Phoebe, for making this happen. We appreciate it very much.